fixing everything.
In between recording the last one and recording this one, we had to change. So I had some chocolate. And I was picking the chocolate off the counter, off the table, with my finger. I wet my finger on it like that. And I put this, I had a piece of wood in my mouth. I was trying to eat a splinter. There's just nothing normal about that. Now I'm going to probably burp.
I got almost some change for you guys.
Yes,
which is why
we
she
did.
was like,
Waiting
oh
patient.
gosh, you're taking forever.
I posted it on Facebook. She took so long.
Rainbow.
Oh yeah,
Rainbow.
Watch. No, bring the leg up a little bit more so they didn't see more than just a little flash of it. She's wearing
a heart shirt. Oh God, come on, give me some.
That's like
I'm even wearing a skirt. Okay, I mean,
stand up. Show it a little bit more.
I don't want
to. Show just the top of your leg or something. See?
It's like rainbow.
Rainbow. What are they? Like stockings or something?
Maybe.
Yeah, and she got those because she was trying always to nick mine, so I got her a pair. And this is like that thing on the what's that? Empire State Building, that they have the heart on Sleepless in Seattle. I think it was Sleepless in Seattle. Anyway,
no,
yeah,
that's
like
just
the heart
thing that your country got me.
I know.
Isn't it wonderful? It's so frilly and.
It's all an all-in-one outfit, isn't it? The jacket goes on top of that. Yeah, it's all sewn in together.
I got it last year.
We have more shoes of the day. Holly's not wearing shoes because she's got her stockings on, but we have more shoes of the day.
I have my socks.
I have another pair of shoes of the day, and I will show you.
Probably as ugly as the last one.
They're not ugly.
These are panda snacks. They're lovely.
She's eating that. I had a chocolate. Okay, this.
Oh, okay.
Here. But you've got to see the other side. Because the other side, without falling. Look at the buckles! Look at that!
Yeah, look.
Can I have my leg back, please?
No.
Can I have my leg back, please? So anyway. Now we're wearing a little top. And a jacket. See? Jacket, top. But it's not sewn in. It's got like a little hood. Isn't that cool?
Mine doesn't. I usually love things like that.
Yeah. You like this? You want to wear it at school? You can tie it as well if you want, or you can just leave it down. You can tie it.
No. It's yours. You're going to buy another one if I want to wear it.
I mean, I could get you one in a different colour. Black. We have another colours. Brown. Black.
That would be nice.
I love it. It's called the Patty Boutique on Amazon, and I buy a lot of tops from them. But the trousers I buy also. I get all my clothes from Amazon these days because I don't like going to shops. I really hate like trying on clothes out and about. So I just buy them in Amazon and hope that they fit, because I just buy like smalls. Hope they fit. And since I buy leggings and stuff, they usually fit. Burp! Okay, so today, now, because we already did one, but now we're going to make a video about something that's really, really dear to my heart, because I am so fed up with hearing about this almost on a daily basis. And Holly, since she's in school and she's around kids, and she sees, I don't think she sees as much as in other parts of the country, but there is still, well, the title for this video is going to be Deadbeat Parents and Bullying. And
you know who you are.
My thing is, and this isn't just about gay kids, this is about kids who are thrown out, like yesterday's rubbish. I keep hearing, and you know, on Facebook I follow groups as well, but I keep hearing about parents who find out, say for example, the parents find out that their child, like their daughter is pregnant, and she's a teenager. Holly has a kid in her year at school who's pregnant. Mm-hmm. She's still living at home. Her parents support her fully.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, she's in my year. It looks like she's almost due as well. Right,
she's a sophomore. And you know, as much as you like to bury your head in the sand that these things don't happen, they do happen. And you know, children have been, you know, engaging in sex since the start of time. It's not new. But they didn't throw their kids out in those days. I mean, when I hear about these kids who get thrown out of home for whatever reason, for religious reasons. They've gone against their parents' beliefs. It totally drives me crazy, because there are people out there, and this is what I thought I was having just the other night. There are people out there who are desperate for children, who go through IVF, who go through all sorts of treatment, who go through all sorts of testing, invasive treatments and testing, who are desperately trying to have children. Now there are more and more gay couples who have to spend a lot of money to have children through surrogacy or adoption, whatever. There are people desperate for children, and yet these people who can quite easily have children will throw away their child because of something that the child either has no control over or has happened to the child. And it makes me mad, because, I mean, I can't imagine that there's anything that any of my children could do that would make me want to discard them like yesterday's rubbish. I've told them, I mean, I'm English, shockingly enough, I'm English, but but I come from a mixed background, and we've had in our home always seen alcohol around the house, because, you know, in Spain it's just with every meal they drink wine and stuff like that. And I've told my children that because the drinking law is different here, if they want to drink something, even before they were 18 or are 18, I told them that if they want to have something with, you know, around us, I don't drink really, so I mean, I very rarely drink because I don't like the taste of alcohol. But I didn't drink when I was away because I'm shy. Anyway, so I've told them that if they want to, they can have a drink around us. If they're ever out and they're around friends who get drunk or get high or whatever, or if they have a few drinks, I've told them to call us, to come and pick them up if they don't trust their designated driver or whatever, to come to call us if they need someone to drive them, whatever the time, because we'll go out. I would rather get out of bed, not that I'm ever in bed at a reasonable time, but I'd rather get out of bed and go and pick up my children so that they get home safely, rather than have somebody who's drunk drive them, or to have them try to find another way home. I would rather go out and you know, spend an hour out getting my children than something happening to my children. It's something my mum used to say, it's better to waste a minute of your life than your life in a minute, and that's true. But anyway, I can't imagine that there's anything my children could do that would make me throw them out. You know, if they committed a huge crime, I mean, as much as I would not be happy about it, I would not turn my back on them. If Holly gets pregnant, accidents happen.
Not
Holly
gonna happen at this age.
Well, but if you know, if Holly gets pregnant, she doesn't have to worry about us kicking her out. We will stand by her, whatever her decision, whatever she decides to do, whether she wants to keep it, whether, you know, we're pro-choice. Whatever she decides, it's her decision. If she's got to that point where she's old enough to think, you know, she thinks she's old enough to have that kind of relationship, it's her decision, and we back her up, you know, if that happens. But I would never throw her out. If the boys get a girl pregnant, I wouldn't. If they one day, one of my children comes up to me and says that they're gay, or that they think that they're born in the wrong gender or whatever, will I throw them out? No, they're my child. My love for my children is unconditional. There are no strings attached. If my child has anything that they want to tell me, they don't have to be scared about it, because
you have knobby knees. I'm sorry.
They don't have to be scared to tell me, because I don't have any conditions to my love for them. Okay, I may not like whatever, but I'm not going to turn my back on them, because they're my children and I carry them, I've nurtured them, and I love them, and that's it. Now, when I hear about parents who do that, who throw out their children, who beat their children up, who kill their children, no, thank you. It makes me so freaking crazy, and I wish that somebody would put them in a room with a freaking bull, make them wear red, and get them gored, because because their children, some of these children end up being killed either because they become, you know, child prostitutes, they fall into the, you know, the wrong type of groups. It just makes me so freaking mad, and I just don't understand. I cannot wrap my brain around why a parent would do that. I can't understand why a father or a mother would beat up their child because they're gay. I can't understand also why, and this will be going on the bullying, why people will beat up different children, you know, if they've got disabilities, if because of their sexual orientation, because they look different, because they speak differently, because they have mental, you know, disabilities. Why they'll be picked on by stupid, ignorant bullies, and it makes me so mad. And I want, you know, two wrongs don't make a right, but my God, it would. I don't know. Bullying.
By the way, bulls are not attracted to red, they're attracted to the matadors.
Why? Because of their fancy pants?
No, because they're all... Okay, any color, if someone was, like, egging you on to do something, it's just, like, agitating you, it wouldn't matter the color, it's just how they act.
So even if it was black?
Yeah. So...
Thank you, Holly, for that little lesson.
Oh, no, I learned it from someone else.
But you're giving us a lesson.
Or, wait. I don't know. Might have
Okay.
been
Now, I want to have, once she's finished chewing on this panda snack, I'd like to have Holly's opinion on what I've been talking about, how she feels about it, how she feels. I mean, she's not a parent. But
I'm a parent of 2 wonderful chihuahuas. That doesn't count.
Yes, Holly. Your opinion, please.
Like
how do you feel about it when you hear a child, somebody has committed suicide because they have no support?
I really wish that they would have, like,
Some
it doesn't
kids
matter.
do it, even with parental support.
It doesn't matter.
They still do it.
What, like, their preference, like, it doesn't matter who they love. Love, it doesn't go towards a gender. It's just who you love as a person. And even if they're, like, gay or anything, they're still people. I mean, I know quite a few people at my school who are really awesome people, and they're...
Who just happen to be gay.
Yeah. I mean, why should they get bullied for those kind of things? Which is why it really doesn't make sense, because, okay, they can be a total asshole as a person, but it doesn't matter who, like, their sexual orientation. I mean, it matters, like, what kind of person they are on the inside. But still, bullying is bad, so stop doing it. I mean...
Do you know anybody who's been bullied?
Personally...
Billy was bullied. And it was, you know, when he was in elementary school, he was bullied by that little brat.
I got pushed on the playground once.
You did?
Yeah, me.
Why?
One guy liked me and...
Oh, that's not the same thing! I've done that.
But guys, they're like, oh, being all mean to girls, and they're like...
Because
I
they
don't
like
get
them.
why they do that.
So are you saying that bullies beat up gay kids because they like them too?
No.
Sometimes it is repressed homosexuality that makes them do that anyway.
But you still shouldn't do that, because a person's a person.
You know, Billy...
no matter what they...
Billy was beaten, not beaten, he was bullied as a little kid because he was quiet, and that's why he was bullied, because he allowed it. He never talked back, and he was very quiet, and he was very shy, and every year at school he only had one friend, and they'd always move away at the end of the year, which was really upsetting because he'd have to start from the beginning. I always felt really sad for him, and it always made me cry because I just felt so sad for him. Sometimes I'd go down there at lunchtime or at playtime and see him standing in the corner of the playground by himself. It made me so sad. But
to add on to that, I remember when he was in 5th grade and I think I was in 3rd, and I went out with my buddies and stuff, and the 5th graders also went out because that was their recess time as well. And they can't mingle. Like before, when they didn't have the all fancy playground and stuff, it was just the blacktop, and they would play maybe football or something. But I'd always just see him walking around by himself, and it really made me sad, and I wanted to go over there, but we weren't allowed to, because, I don't know, the 5th graders and the 3rd graders, they can't talk for some reason. But so, I'd introduce him to my friends and stuff, and then really didn't like seeing him being alone and stuff, but there was really nothing I could do because I wasn't allowed. I mean, if I was allowed to, I would go spend I would have spent every single recess with him, but
I think that's stupid that you're not allowed to mingle with the other kids. Also, at lunchtimes you're not allowed to mingle.
Right. Might have been in 2nd grade. I don't know, I was in a grade and he was in 5th. But, I don't know. You know, I'm really happy to have him around, especially, like, since last year was my first year in high school and stuff, and he had friends, and since I was allowed to talk to him because he was a senior and I was a freshman, I was allowed to talk to him and stuff because why wouldn't I? And we had a quartet of people, if you will, his best friend, my best friend, and then us. And you know, it was a nice group, and I don't know, he was never, unless you call bullying, like, no, that is bullying. He's been called, like, Harry Potter and stuff, jokingly, because of his glasses and stuff and his hairdo. And
I've been called worse, so that's not bad.
Okay, whatever. I've had nicknames, but they were kind-hearted.
I've been called worse because of the fact that when I was in school, I was a minority because mainly I went to an all-girls school and it was all, but I wasn't called names at school. It was once when I was in the park. But my brother was called worse because he was darker than me, and he was picked on far more than me. But Billy, he started Taekwondo about 5 years ago, and he got to advanced brown, then he stopped because he wears glasses, and he didn't want to wear contacts, and so he felt vulnerable if his glasses were kicked off. He didn't like being beaten, like the sparring anyway. But he went through, I mean, he's still in this phase, but he's very quiet, and people started to, once they found out he was doing Taekwondo, they started to, became scared of him, because you know when you hear about all these school shootings, it's always the quiet one. They say it's always the quiet one who loses his mind or whatever. So people started to keep back from Billy. He's told us this. To steer clear of Billy because they started to fear that he was going to be one of those kids who lost his mind and went on a shooting rampage, which kind of worked in his benefit because that way people didn't bully him anymore. And when they found out, you know, one of the teachers, I think in math class, one of the teachers mentioned that he had just got his brown belt one time, and some of the kids were clapping and stuff and saying, "Oh, we didn't know you did Taekwondo once." Some of those kids found out. They stayed even, you know, further from him. But so as long as he did have Dylan.
Yeah, but I'd say that senior year he made some friends because he used to be called James Bond and stuff. Is a good. James Bond. I mean,
why?
Because, like, I forgot the reason, but he was just really good at what he was doing, and I don't know, and especially when he showed him the guys the laser tag thing and how he won and stuff. I mean,
oh great! So they thought he was great at freaking target practice. Great!
No,
that's why
they called him that in like lightheartedness, and it was just like, okay, he was. People thought he was pretty cool. I mean, I think.
Okay, well, that's great. But I mean, the fact that he told me that they feared him because they thought he might be one of these kids who loses his mind. That's another thing. I think that some of the time, some of these kids, because they're so ignored, instead of becoming a victim, they decide to pick victims. And I mean, there's got to be a middle ground. I don't like the fact that a lot of the time with Billy, he seemed to slip through the cracks. He'd be in school and his teacher would take him aside and say, "Why didn't you attend your class?" And he said, "I was there."
Yeah.
And
just wouldn't.
One time I got a phone call from the school asking me where he was. He was at school. I was worried sick for the whole rest of the day, wondering where the hell my son had got because he'd gone on the school bus. And then I'd got the call from the school, and I was thinking, where could Billy be? So I called up the school. Finally, they told me, oh, we found him in one of the classes. It's because he was so quiet. He sat in the back. He was so quiet. Nobody ever, most of the teachers never noticed him. And he would be done for non-attendance or, whatever.
Yeah.
It's horrible, but anyway.
But
we notice it. Some parents don't notice this kind of stuff, and that's how these kids end up probably going crazy. But as far as all the what we were talking about, bullying. I mean, with the parents throwing out, that's a huge form of bullying. Parents beating up their children because of whatever reason, that's horrendously horrible. But I've said it, and I don't know that I should say it, but if there was a kid that we knew, that Holly knew, that had been thrown out because of their orientation, we have a spare room.
They could come here.
They could stay with us.
They'd end up being my best friend maybe, but only downside to it.
Because I don't care. I mean, somebody's, some kids' sexual orientation or for whatever, religious. A lot of religious parents kick their children out because they're dating outside the religion. I mean, fuck's sake. This is ridiculous. They're your child. I know about the whole religious thing and how people turn crazy because of that. Because I've been through that. And it's horrendous. I mean, the blindness that comes with that is horrendous. And I will never, this is why I've always strived to be very close to the children, very open with the children, because I will never, ever turn my back on my children, because they are everything. They are, they're why I was put here. And I will never turn my back on my children, and I don't care what they do. They are my pride and joy. And whether they're very successful at school, or whether they're mediocre at school, it doesn't matter. And another thing I wanted to point out here is, please, whether your children are biological, whether they're adopted, whatever, even if your children are all your biological children, or if you've got one adopted and biological, whatever, don't show preferential treatment. It's not fair. My parents, my mum especially, used to play me and my brother off against each other. And it's ridiculous and it's crap. And she still does it now. Well, I wouldn't know because we're not talking at the moment. But don't show preferential treatment, and don't show favoritism, okay? It's unfair. It's really unfair. And I know, having gone through this, it feels like shit to be the second-class citizen in your, in your sibling relationship with your brother or your sister or whatever. It feels horrible to be the one that's, I'm sure he didn't mind. But in my dad's culture, the boy, is the one. And so you feel like a second-class citizen, and it's not fun. Just don't do it. It's not fair on your children, and they grow up feeling like crap. So don't do it.
Helpful.
I won't do it.
Helpful.
I won't do it.
And I won't treat my kids any differently than you treat us.
Right, and always tell your children that you love them, because you don't know. They may never walk through the door again. You may not wake up in the morning.
Same with siblings. I mean,
right.
Always tell your siblings that you care.
I was going to phone my brother. Oops, it's too late now. It's too late in England. Well, he didn't phone me. He could FaceTime me. I'm available on FaceTime.
It's okay. But you should always take the time to tell your loved ones that you do love them. Even if, you're just going to school or something. It's just like, love you and stuff like that. Show care.
Yeah. Okay, that's going to be it for today. I'm gonna kiss you. Let me kiss you.
Okay.
She's so stingy with her kisses. She used to be so much better when she was a child. I
had no choice. She'd always be like, It's like, oh, okay.
Alright, so, subscribe.
Like the video.
Thumbs up. Please send questions, or seriously, we're going to make a video and we're going to make our own questions.
Yeah.
I've got Twitter if you want to friend me on Twitter and send us some questions there. Look me up under immigration. Or send us questions on here, in the comments below. It doesn't matter what, what you want to ask us. If not, we will make up questions ourselves and ask each other questions. And I can't be held responsible for the kind of questions I'm going to ask my daughter.
There's this great quote. Just read it.
You do it.
Okay. I'm not. Should I read the first one? Cause it's like,
yeah, read it.
Okay. But this anchor, who had gotten a lot of insults about her weight, or just she was being bullied by people outside the in the viewing audience and stuff like that. And I really loved what she said, because she had these two quotes that really stood out to me, and I thought they were really beautiful. And it was I'm much more than a number on a scale, which is it's just wonderful. And then her second one is, do not let your self-worth be defined by bullies. And I just thought those were really stand out quotes, and I just thought that, you know, I might as well put them in because this is a bullying video. But they were really beautiful. What she said was really beautiful, and exactly. And she's such a strong woman. And it's
Who is that?
Jennifer Livingston, I think. And she's an anchor, and I don't know, I watched...
Oh, a news anchor?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I watched her video a few weeks back, and then it just made me feel good about myself, because she let her confidence be spread to those who needed to hear it, and it's... I mean, tons of people get bullied about everything, so...
Size is another one, yeah.
Yep. Just learn to be a narcissist and love yourself for who you are, because...
I wish I was more like my daughter.
Because I don't tend to care what people say. Just push it past and be like, oh, I have better things to do than listen to your hateful comments. So I'll just go
This is
on.
to all you freaking cliquey little bitches out there who are the popular girls.
If anyone's weird,
it's you.
No,
I'm sorry. That would be Bullies!
You're being so mean. But,
I'm sorry, but I find them so shallow.
But, you know, everyone does what they love. I mean, I go to school, just like last year, this happened a lot, went to school in a wig, in my Alan costume, and I heard many whispers. Most like, whoa, what are they doing, and stuff like that.
She must be a cross-dresser, she must be transgender.
Well, you know, as long as I mean, if that's how people have fun, then just live with it. I mean, don't bully someone just to make yourself feel better, because it really won't help anyone.
And sometimes it hurts a person's feelings. Holly, you know, is thick-skinned about it, and she likes to do it. So, but I've been a lot of times, and this is stupid and shallow, but sometimes guys don't see past the fact that a woman isn't just the shape of her body. And I've had it because from an early age I was top heavy. And the amount of times that I've gone back and changed because of some stupid snide comment. I mean, how would a guy, if I was in a bar or a club, how would a guy like it? Probably he'd love it, but how would a guy like it if I went up to him and asked him if his man bits were real? I mean, you don't go up and ask someone that. And you don't make lewd comments about their freaking body.
And it's not all about a person's
another
body.
Yes, a person isn't a sum total of
that's
their freaking
sexual
bits.
harassment.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the personality is the best part of a person. You don't get with someone just for their body and stuff.
Right.
Because you're not gonna be happy at the end. Let's face it. If there's something like, oh, the only thing I like about this person is their body.
Yeah.
That's not anywhere to go.
No.
Off of a relationship with. I mean,
I'm glad that Holly hasn't been burdened with the same problem, as I see it, a problem, because I've spent half my life hunched over wearing sacks because of that, and you get very self-conscious about it. I mean, here, like I'm sitting here with my shoulders forward so that it doesn't emphasize the front, where I should be sitting here, like, you know, because of the fact that it's bad for the posture, it's bad for my back. But, you know, having lived with it for so many years, and now that I'm super fit, it emphasizes. It emphasizes it, and so you try not to emphasize it. And I work out.
Look at my body.
Anyway, so think about things before you say them. Okay?
Yeah. Listen to her.
Listen to her. She's wise beyond her age.
She's the age of 5.
Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching our videos, and please send us some questions. Otherwise, I will.
Or else I'll be sad.
I'll sit here with no clothes on if you send us.
Oh God!
Oh, by the way, I'm just going to do one thing, and I was kidding about that anyway. Just in case.
Imagine all the people living life in peace.
Last week, Holly said she was going to go out with a moustache.
No, I didn't.
Painted on her face with a goatee and a unibrow. If we hit 1,000 views. Well, we are currently at 1,195 views.
I didn't say I'd go out. I was just kidding. I was kidding.
School?
I was kidding.
Oh, come on!
I can't go to karate like that.
I will say one thing, and I've talked about this at home. When we have 25,000, because I know we'll never have this, but I'm going to put it out there. When we have 25,000 subscribers, I will cut my hair.
Oh, yeah, she will. She will.
And Holly will sit there in a bikini. No.
No, never. Perverts. But look how long her hair is now. Oh, where'd I go? And then you're going to cut it up. She's going to cut it to a length.
I might even cut it short.
Oh, short's like her mid-back. Oh, my goodness.
No, I meant up to here.
Really? Oh, that's
if we hit 25,000 subscribers. And I'm not saying, Holly, go and freaking ask people at your school to subscribe.
Everyone, here we go.
But anyway, yes, so if we do that, Holly will sit in the bikini, I'll cut my hair.
No, I will not sit in a bikini.
If we hit 1 million subscribers, Holly and I will both sit here in a bikini.
You'll enjoy that.
I've never worn a bikini in my life. Well, I did when I was about 5. After that, it was all one pieces. Well, not after 5, but about 12, I never wore one. Anyway, okay, so thank you for watching our videos.
Send us questions.
Send us questions. Subscribe.
Comments.
Comments. Thumbs up. Subscribe. Like. Thumbs up.
Love
whatever.
always conquers hate.
We love you. That was
That's
Kiss
a
with
bunny
Tongues.
rabbit.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.